You used to check your phone every 5 minutes during a trade. Now you barely check it at all. You used to feel sick after a loss. Now a loss barely registers. Something has changed, but you can't quite name it. You're not sure if you're actually improving or just getting lucky. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 real signs that you are becoming a profitable trader. Not account balance, not win rate. The actual behavioral and psychological shifts that happen before the money ever shows up. Not financial advice, just education. Let's get into it. First, let's destroy the most common misunderstanding about profitability. Most traders think profitability is something you measure at the end of the month by looking at your account balance. Green month, profitable; red month, not profitable. Here's the problem with that. Account balance is lagging information. It tells you what already happened. It does not tell you what is about to happen. A trader can have a profitable month purely by luck while making every wrong decision along the way. A trader can have a losing month while doing everything right and simply running into a string of statistically normal losses. If you're only measuring profitability by your balance, you're measuring noise, not signal. Here's the one idea that changes everything. Profitability is not an outcome. It is a byproduct of specific behaviors practiced consistently over time. The behaviors come first. The money follows, which means the real evidence that you are becoming profitable shows up in how you think and act long before it shows up in your account. So let's go through the 5 signs. Each one is something you can check in yourself right now, regardless of what your account balance currently says. Sign 1. Your stop loss no longer feels like a loss. It feels like information. Think back to when you started trading. A stop loss probably felt like a personal failure. Pain, frustration, maybe even anger at the market for moving against you. That emotional reaction is the signature of a beginner trader, because at that stage, every trade still feels like a referendum on whether you're good at this or not. Here is what changes as you become profitable. A stop loss starts to feel neutral, almost clinical. It triggers, you note it. You move on, not because you've become emotionless or detached from trading, because you've internalized something most traders never fully accept. A stop loss is not a verdict on your skill. It is the cost of doing business. It is the price you pay to find out if a setup that had genuine probability in its favor actually played out this time. Professional traders in any field of probability, poker players, insurance underwriters, actuaries, they all share this trait. They do not experience individual losses as personal failures because they understand that any single outcome, win or lose, tells you almost nothing about the quality of the decision that led to it. A good decision can lose. A bad decision can win. Over a large enough sample, quality decisions produce profitable outcomes regardless of how any single trade resolves. If you notice that your stop losses now trigger a brief, almost boring acknowledgement instead of an emotional spiral, that is not numbness. That is your nervous system finally calibrated to the actual statistical reality of trading. This is sign 1, and it is one of the clearest tells because it cannot be faked. You either feel the shift or you don't. Sign 2. You start asking why a trade worked, not just whether it worked. Early in a trading journey, the only question that matters is binary. Did I win or did I lose? That question feels urgent and important, but it is actually the least useful question you can ask because it treats every win the same and every loss the same, regardless of how they happened. As you become profitable, a second question starts to emerge, often without you consciously deciding to ask it. Why did that work? Or, why did that fail? You start noticing that some of your winning trades were genuinely well executed. Clean entry, clear context, proper risk, and some of your winning trades were essentially accidents, where the setup was actually weak, but price happened to move in your favor anyway. This distinction matters enormously, because a trader who only tracks wins and losses will unconsciously reinforce lucky wins as if they were skillful wins. They'll repeat the exact behavior that got lucky, assuming it works, and eventually the luck runs out while the bad habit remains. A trader who is becoming profitable starts separating outcome from process. They can lose a trade and feel completely fine about it because the process was sound. They can win a trade and feel uneasy about it because they know, honestly, that the execution was sloppy and they got away with it. This sign shows up subtly. You might notice yourself reviewing a winning trade with more scrutiny than you used to, almost suspicious of your own win. That suspicion is not self-doubt. That is the analytical instinct of someone separating signal from noise. Sign 3. Position sizing stops being an afterthought and becomes the first decision you make. Beginner traders typically approach position sizing backwards. They find a setup, get excited about it, and then figure out how big to make the trade based on how confident they feel. High confidence, bigger size. That feels intuitive, but it is exactly the wrong order of operations, because confidence is an emotional state, not a measure of actual probability. As you become profitable, the order flips. Before you even fully analyze the setup, you already know your maximum risk for the trade, calculated from your account size and your predetermined risk percentage. The setup analysis happens within that boundary, not before it. You're no longer asking how big should this trade be based on how good it looks. You're asking, given my fixed risk parameters, does this setup meet my criteria for an entry? This shift is enormous because it removes the single most common account-destroying behavior in trading, which is sizing up during a winning streak because confidence is high, and then taking an oversized loss that erases days or weeks of gains in one trade. If you notice that your position size has become almost boring and mechanical, calculated the same way every single time, regardless of how the setup feels, that is, sign 3, and it is one of the strongest indicators of developing professional behavior. Sign 4, you stop needing the market to move for you to feel okay. This is a subtle one, but it might be the most important psychologically. Early in a trading journey, your emotional state during market hours is often tied directly to whether price is moving in your favor. Green candles, you feel good. Red candles, you feel anxious. Your mood becomes a mirror of unrealized profit and loss, which means you spend hours of your day emotionally hostage to price movement you cannot control. As you become profitable, something shifts. You start being able to sit in a trade, watch it fluctuate, watch it dip into a temporary drawdown that's still within your planned risk, and feel essentially neutral about it. Not because you don't care about the outcome, but because you've already accepted the outcome before you entered. You knew the range of possible results when you took the trade. Watching it move within that range doesn't surprise you or destabilize you. This sign often shows up first in small, almost invisible ways. You notice you didn't check the chart for 2 hours during a live trade, not because you forgot, but because you genuinely didn't feel the urge to. That absence of compulsive checking is not carelessness. It's evidence that your emotional state is no longer outsourced to the market's next 5-minute candle. Sign 5. Boring trading days no longer feel like wasted days. Beginner traders often equate activity with productivity. A day with no trades feels like a missed opportunity, a wasted session, almost like failing to show up for work. This belief quietly pushes traders toward overtrading, taking marginal setups just to feel like they did something, because sitting on your hands feels uncomfortable when you associate trading with constant action. As you become profitable, this completely inverts. A day with 0 trades because no setup met your criteria starts to feel like a successful day. Not a missed day, a successful one. You begin to understand, at a deep level, that your edge only exists within specific conditions, and forcing trades outside those conditions doesn't just fail to help, it actively erodes your edge by introducing low probability trades into your overall sample. This is genuinely one of the hardest shifts to make, because it goes against a very human instinct to associate effort with reward. But professional traders across every market consistently describe this same realization. The best trading days are often the quietest ones, where discipline looked like doing nothing at all. Now here's how these 5 signs work together. None of them require a winning month to be true. You could be in a drawdown right now, your account slightly down for the month, and still be exhibiting every single one of these 5 signs. That's the entire point. These signs are leading indicators. The account balance is a lagging indicator. By the time your balance reflects consistent profitability, these behavioral shifts have usually already been in place for months. This also means the reverse is dangerous. You could have a great month financially, purely from variance, while exhibiting none of these 5 signs, still feeling pain on every stop loss, still sizing based on confidence, still needing the market to move in your favor to feel okay. That trader is not becoming profitable. That trader got lucky, and the lack of these underlying shifts means the result will not repeat. So here is the mindset shift to close this out. Stop checking your account balance to ask whether you're becoming a profitable trader. Start checking your own behavior. Does a stop loss feel like information instead of failure? Do you question your wins as much as your losses? Is your position size fixed before you analyze the setup? Can you sit in a trade without needing the market to move for you to feel calm? Does a day with 0 trades feel like discipline instead of waste? If you can honestly say yes to even 3 of these 5, you are further along than your account balance is currently telling you. The money is lagging behind the behavior. It always does. Keep doing the behaviors, and the balance eventually catches up to where you already are. Drop a comment. Which of these 5 signs do you already notice in yourself? Which one are you still working on? I read every single one. I'll see you in the next video. Stay disciplined.